Test. Yeah, there are 20-second delay. At least it's missed, right? How about now?
The way I worked, it just delayed by like 20 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's coming back to the audio. Sounds good. All right.
Somebody's doing a really good impression.
この PDF は PDF で、このデータ後で欲しいです。
あ、了解です。これね。
はい。
了解です。
今度、
あ、もちろんもちろん。
もし家でいたし。
All right, guys. Thanks for coming to Meetup. This is your final opportunity. Not have to final, but please pick up pizza. And if you need drink, just go out to get the drink as soon as possible. This is 32nd, 32nd, 31st. I think it's 32nd. Developer Meetup. And today we have two speakers. But before you even start, please, Sean, you want to announce something?
Yeah.
Before we start.
Hello, I'm Sho from Inido Japan, the sponsor of this pizza.
Thank you! Thank you for pizza!
But we are not a pizza catering company. Yeah. We work for a kind of developed state. Inido is originally from the US company, and they established Japanese branch last year. Yeah. So it means we just started here. Please remember the name of Inido. Yeah. And we are having the conference next week, 24th Tuesday and 25th Wednesday. That name is DevOps Days Tokyo 2018. And Jim Bolin, he's one of the speakers.
Really?
Yeah.
I was one last year too.
I know.
What kind of thing?
I'm going to talk about Docker this time. Docker and how I use it for testing multiple distros of Linux at once.
Yeah. So if you have interest, please ask me, and please join me to the event. Yeah. Thank you.
I love to join the event, but I'm in Hawaii the week. Sorry about that.
Sure, rub it in.
All right, so we have only two speakers today, and their first one should be like in 30-40 minutes, I guess. Then I'll do the Azure Batas GCP. All right, please enjoy. Now all yours. Okay. Let me switch to your desktop. Right. That should be
So
Oh, yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah.
so the first time.
And please wait until. Okay.
Okay. So this is a demo for them. So they say it's very easy to change the length here, right? So it's very easy. So then So then I think, how can I do this in Emacs, right? So, oh, I have to switch back. Okay. I can put the this put to right side. So then you can see what key I stroke. So, so how can I do this in Emacs, right? Before I'm always using commanders. It's like which string you want to replace. Then you type this first, and then what you want to replace. It's like a dialogue. So, but after when I saw the Sublime text, I just think, how can I do this in Emacs? So actually, it's quite easy. You just say, already some guy did this, so I just copy it from the source code. So change bike. So yeah, I want to. I hope you can copy today. You can copy some my text editing skills if you like, and also you can show something if you think, oh, I have a better way. So because as programmers, we have to no matter what kind of language you are using, efficiency is what we care about, right? So okay, so I will do a brief self-introduction. So I'm from China, Shanghai, and I have been living in Japan for 2.5 years. And I'm working on so many different projects. And sometimes when I check LinkedIn, other guys' resume, I always thought they put everything there. So they say I can do JavaScript, Python, Go, C#, and it's too much. I think maybe this is because it will be good for job hunter to find them, right? So, but if you let me pick up one word for myself, I choose Lisp. So I like Lisp, and maybe some guys think, oh, in Lisp there are so many brackets, parentheses, and it's not for human beings. But I like this very much. So in my feeling is when I write C or I'm not good at C++. It's like you are talking to the machines. When you are using Haskell, it's like you are learning mathematics. So it's, but for me, Lisp means list processing, right? I feel some permanent. So it's like, in Go, there's a phrase called joseki. So it means settled patterns. So Lisp, sometimes it feels like some pattern you like here, just so I like this very much. So that's why recently I'm trying to use ClojureScript HYM in my work. And but what I'm good at is full stacker, maybe Python, Django, and today front end Vue.js. And okay, so next, so why you want to talking about this, right? Maybe because maybe why today blockchain and deep learning is so hot today. And the joke is that last year, no problem cannot be solved in deep learning. If not, use blockchain. So, but I feel sometimes IT is changing so fast. I don't know if you guys still remember the VR or AR, so some share economics stuff. And sometimes today it's very easy to get knowledge from internet. So you can watch videos on YouTube, ask crash trees in Cora and do exercises in lead code and check source code from the GitHub, right? You can get us an answer from Stack Overflow. So for offline meetup, so the benefit is we can interact with each other, right? So we can exchange ideas. So so what I care about, this is a Chinese, it means maybe life hacker. So it's a motto or slogan of Tsinghua University. It means you should don't be lazy and you should never stop learning new things. So for me, I care about efficiency. I want to work smart, and 90% of the time we are using editors or IDE to code. So that's why I want to talk about this. No matter what kind of technology you are using, framework, language, right? And yeah, the very interesting is last time, recently in China, Huawei, they just fired some middle-aged developers. So sometimes they think, because in China they think the developers, you have to middle-aged developers cannot compete with the young developers because you have a family to support. You are too old. You don't want to learn you cannot accept something new, right? So yeah, I also checked some posts on the Hacker News, and the people are talking about this. So I don't know if a senior developer, how many times can be more than our junior developers? 10, 100? I don't know, but sometimes when I saw some young people, and maybe not young people, some my colleagues, they are waste hours to do some very basic text editing or file changing. Actually, my idea is it will be better to write a macro or write a script to do this automatically, but they do these things manually. So sometimes I think, what are they doing so every day? So okay, so then I wanted to talk about my philosophy. And the first thing is you should make a comfortable environment. So for Emacs, I think the famous problem is picking problem. So because Emacs is maybe 43 years old right now, so in the sometimes they told me this is my HKB, and today because Emacs use control key a lot, today the control key is in this location, right? And then people think, oh, it will be very painful to do this. But in the 1980s and the 70s, the control key is here. So that's why they use this, and the alt key is here. So yeah. So maybe Emacs users are, because it's a 40 years old, maybe Emacs users are too old, right? So, and then some people think, oh, you have to type very quick or something else. And so to make this environment, I recommend you just swipe the control key to the caps lock key. So, and for when I use Vim, I will map the JJ to instead of the ESC, because this is too far, right? So some people, they are using JK. I choose JJ. So if you still don't like use the control key, you can use the mode for Emacs. This is called God mode. So in God mode, you can it's like for Vim, you have they have the editing mode and the visual mode. So you can change it to your God mode, then you don't need to use control key anymore. So another thing recently, a big thing in Emacs community is Space Emacs. Have you heard of this? No. So this is a community-driven Emacs distribution. So you can think people share .emacs files together. So in my opinion, so Space Emacs makes Emacs good again. So they incorporate so many modern editor concept into this, and the people share together. So a very famous joke about Emacs is it's a study curve, right? So it's very hard for a beginner to use this. So and you can even use Vim's shortcuts in Emacs. So it's very easy for a Vim user to switch to Emacs and use both. Okay, the next thing is upgrade your hardware. So today, maybe Rambo cannot beat Iron Man, right? Because Iron Man has much more better weapons. Even your Rambo has maybe strong muscles. So as a programmer, keyboard, chair, and the monitors are our weapons. So be nice to yourself, buy some good environment hardware. So because we spend 8 hours a day, and yeah. So the third one is muscle memory. So I think Emacs and VI say are popular editors in history. One reason is that they are very easy for people to remember. If it's very hard for people to remember, people will give up. That's why they survived. They survived, right? So there's I recommend a video. So I don't know how to pronounce Bramurna. So he is the Vim's author. So he has give a presentation about some philosophy about how to make effective text editing. So for me, so I just copy a slogan from jQuery because jQuery is such a popular library, right? So he said, write less, do more. So I said, type less, do more. So if a normal people can do something in 1 minute, let's say replace some word, some strings in project, you can do it in 5 seconds. This already means you are 12 times quicker than him, right? So another thing is energy management. I learned a word called decision fatigue. So you know, Steve Jobs, his outfit is always the black turtlenecks and blue jeans and the New Balance sneakers. And the Zuckerberg, he has so many gray T-shirts, right? So so why they do this? Anybody knows?
They don't have to choose every day.
Yeah, that's right. So like Zuckerberg said, he want to clear his life because every day he has to make every people every day has to make decisions, right? So it's like when you get up, you will need to know you have to think what I should eat, what I should wear, and in today's meeting, what I should talk in this presentation, what I should get. So the funny thing is, with decisions is that when you make them, you actually expend the mental energy. So if you make too many decisions in a short time, so it will reduce your decision-making ability. So Zuckerberg want to save time, right? Maybe he should put more time, focus on how to improve Facebook's security, right? So for me, I think it's very hard for me in Japan to wear same clothes every day. So I choose start from socks because I buy all the same type, same size, and from Muji because you can find Muji everywhere in China, in Osaka, in Tokyo, in Shanghai. So this maybe can save me 5 minutes one time, and you don't need to think this anymore, right? So this is kind of best practice on my clothes cleaning. So there are also some very interesting machines can fold something for you, and I even create my own Tabelog because I don't know the user experience in Tabelog is so terrible. I don't know how to use. So that's why sometimes I made one by myself. It's very like this. So So I live in a place near here online, so I just grab all the restaurants near my house and order it by the catalog marks. So every day I just like if I have been to there, I just check. And if I don't want to choose, I create a button called lucky, just pick one for me. So then I don't need energy to focus on it anymore.
If you have to travel kilometers.
From here. Yeah. So I think muscle memory in editor can help you similar to make less decisions. So then you can save energy. So it's like a mouseless. Don't use mouse. I cannot say mouse is slow, but my way is I prefer to use keyboard. So it's like the AC jump. Anyone use this AC jump? No. Yeah, it's a very famous plugin. You can find it in Visual Studio Code everywhere. So so let's say this is my cursor. I want to choose this return. I want my cursor to go to here. So I will type. I bounded this to auto J, means jump, right? So then because this word, the first letter is R, so I type R. So then you can see there are A, B, C, D, 4 words. They are all start with the R. So I should choose in the second time which one. So I want to go there, so that's why I should type C, right? So then my cursor go here. So if I have, let's say I have two window, it's same, right? I want to go R, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So if I want to go here, reverse, I just type H. So I feel this is much quicker and easy way. I have to check back. So sometimes when I involve some projects, why they write so many functions, each function more than 500 lines. I think maybe they don't know how to jump the code. That's why they are. I saw them. They are always use mouse to drag. Oh. Oh, this is my one is I like. So this is called expand region. So I bound this function to control equal. So it will choose things in this order. So you can change this if you like. So this means I have to change again. So let's say here. So I will here. I went the first time I click Control equal, so it will choose this reverse or to right. So I click again, so it chooses the whole segment. Then I again do it again. It gives you this one. Then again, so this method. So again, so give you the class. So again, then whole. So I can show you. This is a list code. So let's say here. So here, right? So I should move this to right. After this again, second here. So then out. So and then so it will be larger and larger. So again. Right. So let's say HTML file. So let's say I need here include. Yeah. So you don't need to think how to choose them. Just repeatedly type control equals and wait for what you want. So And oh, by the way, I don't know if you, let's say, it's another tip. If I want to change the here, so because it's a pair, right? I want to change them. So I bound this to Control C R. So and then I want to type the P. That change all this automatically. So because I see so many people, they just double click the first one, change it first time, and then go here, change it for another time. So I. Okay. So up and down. So actually, this is very easy, but sometimes plus using Ctrl C, Ctrl V, or Ctrl X, Ctrl V to paste stuff. It's like I can just let's say I want to move this two lines up. I can choose them together, and then I just type go there. So if you don't choose anything, default is this line. So don't use Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and the mouse. I think it will be more efficient. Okay. So the next thing is don't remember unimportant things. Just search everything, and because in the modern editors on the left side, you can see there are always a panel and give you all the source files in this project, right? So I saw some people, they just, sometimes they choose files just from the project, click, and many times, and I think this is crazy for me, and because maybe this takes maybe more than 30 seconds, and you have to remember where the file is located, right? So there are two very famous open source search command, AG and RG. RG maybe is the new one. They write this in Rust and they're very efficient, and you can just search everything in this. Yeah, I want to show this together, and then you want to replace them, right? And okay, I have to. So let's say username. I want to see how many username in my project. So first I can go there. Sorry. I choose this one, right? So I binding this to Control T. So then it gives me all the username in this project. So then you can jump. Let's say this one is a Vagrant file. So I use Vagrant. So I can, when I click enter, so I just go there here. So Vagrant. So what else if I want to okay, I can give you, I only want to show the username only in the HTML file, yeah, because it's maybe it's a template, right? I want to check. So then I just inputted the HTML, so just give me the result in HTML file. So then you can see all the things here. So then I want to change all this username to another variable name. So I will use Ctrl C, Ctrl E. So yeah, I can open it here. So they are all the HTML files. So I just choose this. This is like Sublime Text. I choose all of them, and you can use this. Maybe you want this, and if you want to save it, Ctrl C to commit this, and then done. And if you want to what, Ctrl C, Ctrl K. Yeah, snipped. This is a shortcut to generate code for you, and Oh, yeah, let's see together. So the history. Yeah, have to. And let's go back. So let's see in Python, maybe the first thing is it's a main function. So I bounded if main. So when I type if main, I enter tab key. So it automatically generates this main function for me. So if I want to add another function, I bound it to F. So then you can just enter a message. If I want to write a comment, I make a D. So this comment here. So if I want a to do, so maybe to do this, I want to do something to remember. So okay, so history is you can see all the steps I did, right? It's there are 6, so you can, and the difference here. So you can just up to see each step what I make, and then you can go back. So let's say I want to let's do this. Let's say I need from here. So because I start from here and I did something else, so it made another branch. So then you can choose from here. Yeah. But it's very easy. And if you don't want this, you just discard it in Git. And sometimes it will confusing. Yeah. Yeah, you can choose this and because I changed the not a regular one, so I changed it. I want to skip. I just this is a magnet, so I just want to discard this and then go back to the initial one. So magnet mode. So this is very special. I think today people think this is one killer feature of Emacs. Actually, it's very new, right? So I tried Visual Studio before because the Visual Studio Git interface is not very good, I think, and I don't know how to use. Maybe I don't use it in the right way. And another thing is compared to use you type Git command in terminal. I feel in magnet mode you can control everything much more precisely accurate. So actually, I'm a guy to want to use Git in a stupid ways, because sometimes people using Git too much, and you're always working to solve the conflicts, right? So that's why I don't like it. I want to keep it stupid and simple. So okay. Let's create. Yeah. Let's say I can project, right? So demo connect. So so we can go there. Yeah. Okay. This get initial, right? So I bound this in first is magnet. It's annoying. Right? Magnet list repository. So this can show the all the projects in my project files, the Git repository. So I can search the demo we just created. So .NET. So I go there. So There's nothing right now. In the beginnings, I was darkness because there's nothing here. So I create one readme.md. Well, let's create a readme file, right? So this is title. Save it, and I bound the. If you check it here, git status. So there's a new file, right? So if I check in emacs, so I bound it to AutoXG, so same. So it's a readme. So how can I do this? If you don't know, you can type the question mark. So it gives you all the actions you can do here. So because in here it's unchecked, so I want to stage it first. So you can type S. No, not right now. This is staged. So you can check when I add table key. So the green is a new line was added. So this is the title. So I want to commit this. So I type C. So right. So then I Ctrl C, Ctrl C. So okay, the first commit was finished. Let's type something else. Line 2, 3. Same. You can just see this and second. Commit 6. Commit 2. Okay. So I say this time 1 and 4. So you can see that two lines, right? So maybe there are two logicals. I want to make 2 commits. I don't want to add them in one time. So you can choose this one and then type S. There are 2 files. The same file, right? But 2 parts. The line first is in stage. This one is still in the line 4. Line 4 is still in stage. So then we can commit first. So this is line 1. Then you can, if you like, you can just hit this line 4. If you check the Git list current, so this is all the history about this repository. So you can type int to go in. Oh, this commit did this and add this here. So yeah, there are other some very interesting actions. It's like if we don't like this comment line 4 because it's a very bad name, we want to change it. Just I can type CW, and then you can just this for line 4. So just change very easy, and yeah, Magit is so amazing, and actually there are so many other things like it's like a cherry pick, scratch, or something. But yeah, if you like, you can use it. I think it's maybe much more efficient. So. Oh, I forgot to say. So I don't know. I want to say because maybe you think this is very weird because why you type so many keys, right? But this is a philosophy. Emacs is it's like when I type this, it's all the files right now in Emacs. So the philosophy is I type something, then I want to do something. If now we are in the readme.md, right? We just did, and if we want to queue this in the Emacs, I just type D, So there's a marker here. So that means you can delete. When you do the action, you can delete this. So then I enter X key. Oh, maybe you cannot see the button. So this. So they actually the philosophy are same. So that's why Emacs user can enter maggot mode I cannot say very easily, just you, because we are familiar with this style. So it will be much more efficient if you so okay, so okay, that's all for this today's, and we still have time. Later maybe we can talk about edit mode. This is my favorite mode, but maybe you don't write the list, and yeah, yeah. So okay, yeah, that's all the things I want to. I did present it today, and yeah, the other website called Emacs Rocks. If you want to check Emacs, you can go. There are so many interesting videos. Yeah, so when I was a child, I liked this anime very much, City Hunter. So in this anime, I think the Shojingo means Saiba right? So he has a gun. So and this is a very nice gun. But however, whatever, because in the manga, so every time when an accident, emergency thing happened, he can use his gun. He doesn't need to adjust everything because something, just to use it in maybe 2 seconds, he can use this to shot. So I hope sometime myself I can use Emacs or other IDEs like this. This means you don't need to think about too much, right? So there's a very famous book called Command Mouse. So you need so many problems in project, right? So yeah, I have so many interesting things. It's like the project in a very bad design. So this code means you are working on a older legacy project, and your task is put another ball into this shelf, right? But before that, you have to open the door, right? So it's like you have to add a new feature in your project. This is the time when we do make a patch. And sometimes fix a bug. You fix one bug and another bug came out. So it's endless, right? Sometimes some code we don't know if it still works. So I think we should spend more time on these problems. And like Cybalio, don't try. In that time, you don't have time to think about, oh, how can I do this in editors IDEs? We don't. It's like a touch type, right? So when you are writing an article, you don't need to think, oh, where is the A in the keyboard? You don't want to watch this because you should focus on how to structure your article and choose the right word. So it's similar in your editor. You don't need extra time to think how to refactor and reformat the editors, the code in editors. Yeah, do it subconsciously. Yeah, so that's all. I hope this can be helpful to improve your editors. And if you like, you can do by socks like me to make your life simple. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, questions.
On the 6, the people on the 6, like.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I should mirror.
I think you're going to search for username in the Python code.
Python code.
Yeah, like the username. So when you are demonstrating searching username and then it finds all the username keywords.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it like is it in the same context, or is it context aware, or is it just trying to search on all usernames in all files?
Yeah, for the this is from the, I mentioned AG and RG. So AG and RG, you can do a configuration. It's like they can find the .git files. So this is the project's root path, right?
Okay.
So they can search all the files in from that and search.
Like for example, if I want to set the username for that object, the user class, is there a way to do that?
For user class.
Yeah. So the set the username that belongs to user class, right?
You want to? I can turn off this. You want to search a class username?
I want to search username property.
Username property. Yeah.
Yeah. It belongs to user class in other files. So
This is not Aegis job. I think you need a Python's. It's like because this is maybe you need Python's AST, right? So,
okay.
Yeah, this is not Aegis. It's like you want to jump here, jump there, and feel. Yeah.
Just I just want to search for username that belongs to user class with all files.
Because I don't, okay, so yeah, you can use Python's plugin, I think, yeah, because because when I use PyCharm, so they has to be something similar, yeah. Yeah, PyCharm is cool. So sometimes I open a PyCharm and Emacs together, so yeah, you can do refactor in PyCharm, and if you want to do some heavy rich text editing, I did this in Emacs. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know today because in Visual Studio Code you can even find the reference, right? For yeah. So yeah. So yeah. So RGNAG is good for if you don't know anything, just plain text. So yeah. So, but you can do this, but this needs so many configurations. So this is all my configurations mode I used. Yeah. Anything else?
Any other question? All right. Please give him a big applause.
Thank you.
Thanks, Frank.
Yeah.
Actually, this is kind of very interesting. Very different context and content compared to what we're doing usually. Let me just.
So should I turn off the?
I just keep it up.
Okay.
Unmute. And do you see this screen? But still no sound?
Is your actual microphone muted?
Oh. Okay.
No, it's okay.
Why is that? Weird. Anyway, all right. So today I will talk about Azure versus GCP, and the GCP stands for Google Cloud Platform, not Google Compute. It's Google Cloud Platform. But actually, I'm writing the blog articles to like Azure versus GCP series. But for me, it's impossible to compare these two platforms without any bias, right? Because I'm Microsoft. So the way I describing, the way I compare these two platforms is from C# developer point of view. Okay enough? Yeah. All right. So first of all, let's see how they have portals. How many of you using Azure in this room? Everybody, okay. Yeah. So this is Azure portal UI, and on the other hand, where is Google? So this is a Google Cloud Compute UI. And what's the difference? So first of all, they have their very big difference when it comes into portal, and they also have something similar. So what's similar? So let's start from the similarity. Similarity is web-based, right? And they also have CLI if you want to manipulate everything from command line. But when we look at the web interface, they have notification and they have an integrated cloud share inside the browser so that you can do the command. And we have settings and feedback and the help. And the same apply for Google Cloud Platform. They have integrated share, they have feedback, help, notification. So I think most of the basic feature is there. And so what's the difference? So the difference comes into the managed project. So when we think about how we're using the Azure, so as a C# developer, let's imagine we have one project, and inside one project, we need one web application. And how we start in Azure. In Azure, we create so-called resource group, right? We start from creating resource group. Actually, we can jump start to creating the web application, but it's also creating a resource group underneath. So Azure let us manage everything from resource point of view. But resource doesn't have to be project. This is sometimes good, sometimes not. Why? So let's imagine in my project, I have one web application and one database, and I may have two virtual machines by some reason, and networking, and I may also need database. Then inside one resource group, I can have a bunch of resources inside, right? Then if I have another project, I can create a resource group, but I can also reusing the same resource group, right? It's up to us. Why? Microsoft is a company to give you the options. You can decide what you want, meaning we have to decide how we manage our project. Sometimes good, because we have flexibility to manage by ourselves. But when we go into resource group, for example, in this resource group, inside the resource group, at this moment, I only have one storage account. That's very easy to see. But let's imagine if you create one VM, do you imagine we only have one resource inside this pane? Actually not, because we have virtual machine, virtual network, IP, storage account, blah, 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 right? We can see all the resources, very granular. It's good to see everything, but it's kind of troublesome sometimes to understand what I really have. And that one VM have one virtual network card. That virtual network card have public IP. And I would like to see that in the hierarchy fashion, because I only care about VM. And if I want to see the public IP of the VM, I can go into the VM to see the public IP, right? But Azure lets us see everything in the flat manner. Then, and another thing is, if I go to this resource group, if I need to add in another things, or at this moment I only have one storage account, and let's say if I want to add web application, I need to click add. Then from here, I have so many options to pick up from. The thing is, you have to understand, or you have to know in advance what you want to add. You really cannot. It's possible, but it's very hard to just navigate around to see what Azure has, what's the capability Azure has, right? Of course, we have the side pane showing everything, or we can just create new resource, which gives us the category. Come on, Azure. Maybe not. There we go. So we have compute, networking, storage, web, blah, 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 so many stuff. But we can pick up from here, but we cannot showing this category inside resource group. Then, on the other hand, Google Cloud Platform is managed by project. Everything project. So when you do one project, you create one project. If you do two projects, you create two projects. And inside the project, there is a project switcher, so you can select which project you would like to work on. So at this moment, I'm working on .NET Meetup project. Then inside, I can click this, the hamburger menu. Then I can see all the capability of the Google Cloud Compute, what I can do. So if I want to create storage, I can come into the storage menu. On the other hand, if I want to create the App Engine, I can come into App Engine menu. So this is very easy for me to look at what I have. But on the other hand, there is no view for my understanding. As long as I know, there is no view for me to show me all the resources I have at this moment. In this project, I have nothing yet, but I cannot tell which resource is enabled or not. So Azure has its own pros and cons, and GCP also has pros and cons. The most different part is Google Cloud Platform is more like project-based, and the project has some limitation. For example, if I want to create App Engine, the root application is only one App Engine. And you can create in subfolders, but not like two web applications. But in the Azure, we can create as many as we want, and we can name it as much as we want, right? Anyways, so that's the main difference. So that's the managed project. And when we look at web app and app engine, by the way, there is a blog as I mentioned. So if you go to dev.to and KNAKAMU, that's my alias. You see all my article, and it's at this moment it's Azure GCP part 17 that I write over the blogs usually, right? So if I'm going back to my dashboard, because this is easier. So first part, I did deploy ASP.NET Core application. Then I did compare web apps and app engine. And I also did web apps and app engine as a Linux platform. So the thing is, Google Cloud Platform support .NET, yes, but only as .NET Core, because they are supporting Linux only. And Microsoft providing the .NET Core, which is cross-platform. That's why Google can let us run the .NET application. Of course, they have VM, the virtual machine, which you can install Windows Server. But for the app engine, which is web apps in Azure, I mean the parse, then the Google Cloud Compute has the Linux version only. All right, so when we look at web app and app engine, Microsoft web app has two versions, Windows and Linux. Windows web apps and Linux web apps. And for Windows web apps, we can deploy any language which supported on Windows runtime, and same is true for Linux platform as well. And the one interesting part is Linux web apps also support container. So if you don't see So for example, Golang is not supported as part of web app, but because we can wrap everything up as a container, we can run Go application as part of container which hosted on web app. So the Microsoft Azure web app has two versions, Windows and Linux, and Linux also have a version with Linux with container. But from my point of view, if we start using container, is that really fast? I don't know. And App Engine, on the other hand, also have two versions, App Engine Standard and App Engine Flexible. So what's the difference? If you go into this blog, this matrix coming from their document, and Flex environment and Standard environment. So sounds like flexible environment take longer time to start up, and the standard environment is kind of just second to put up. But flexible environment, as its name infers, it's flexible, so we can do whatever we want. Actually, this is container-based App Engine. So anything you can do with container, you can run on flexible environment. But if you would like to make more like PaaS style, if standard environment supporting whatever you want. So like the PHP, I guess they are supporting PHP for standard environment and Golang as well. So Go, Python, PHP, these guys can be run on standard environment. Then it can be run faster. I'm not quite sure if it's cheap or not. But anyway, GCP also have two versions, standard and flexible. The only difference is flexible environment support Docker, the container. Okay? And because this is parse, they both support auto scaling up, auto scaling down. We don't have to consider too much about networking because they also support HTTPS naming by default and just one click to deploy. The one unique feature I like about GCP is when I have version 1 of my web application, and if I'm releasing the second version, it's very easy for me to do the A/B testing. Because I can easily set the split rate, like 60% of the network should go to version 1, and the 40% should go into the version 2 to confirm version 2 working fine. Then I can reduce the network go to version 1, and I can increase the network going to version 2. Or like version 2.1 versus version 2.2, we can just really do the A/B testing, which is better, right? And we can do the exact same stuff in the Azure, but we have to manually set up those kind of network split. But the GCP supports network split by default. So you can read my blog for detail. All right, so next stuff, storage and DB. For my understanding, they're kind of pretty same. If I go to storage, and because when you say storage, we have so many storage options. So I split into two articles, one article for Azure, another article for GCP. And what's interesting about Azure storage is once we set up the account, it gives me the connection string with a key embedded. So I can connect it to the storage account from anywhere, from Azure, from my local, from AWS, from on-premise. I can just simply using the exact same code to connect it to Azure storage. On the other hand, GCP has a slightly different strategy to let the developer connect into GCP. They do not give us like connection string, but they have kind of magic key inside. So for example, if I want to connecting my application to GCP storage, what I can do is I can log in to GCP account using my terminal. Then automatically the credential passing to the application so that I can connect into GCP storage. And if I deploy my application to GCP, they are talking to each other without specifying any storage key. But the difficult part is if I deploy application to Azure, for example, and if I would like to connect it to GCP storage, there is something we have to set up to make it happen. Azure is easier because we just need to specify the connection string, right? Then we don't have to care about where the application is running. And for the database, Azure and GCP support both NoSQL and SQL. So the Azure, of course, we have Azure SQL, and Cosmos DB is NoSQL. And GCP also supporting relational database like Postgre or MySQL as SQL database. And if you really need to use Microsoft SQL Server, you can use VM. So not much difference, but the same apply for the connection string stuff. So as a developer, I feel like it's a bit easier to just having the one string as a connection string so that I can connect to my Azure SQL from anywhere. But if I think about if I deploy everything to GCP, because I don't have to manage anything, it could be easier by using GCP. All right, so that's the storage. And VM, virtual machine. I really do not want to touch virtual machine anymore as a modern developer. But to compare, I just write down the article. So just having one virtual machine is fine, because I just create some application. I install Windows, for example, Windows and the IIS on top of it, and then we can deploy. But when I need to scale it out, there is some issue because I need to create image to auto provision everything when we need. So that's the kind of tricky part, which requires DevOps. But because this article is not about DevOps, more like the pure experience of the developer, I did not using any DevOps technology, meaning I have to manually set up everything, including creating the container image. From that point of view, we do not have much difference. But at this moment, Azure sounds like we have better the CPU power and the memory. But when it comes to the cost, many sites or many customer, many YouTube videos saying GCP has way cheaper compared to Azure or AWS. That they said, I don't know personally because I do not running any production service on any platform. All right. So for my suggestion is we should forget about virtual machine. Sometimes we really need to use it, right? Because if the application only running on the Windows server as a service, then we may need to install Windows and install our application as a service and let it run on the cloud. The next one is the serverless. When we say serverless, there are so many ways to understand this word. So let me clarify. Here, I'm talking about function. So Azure has Azure function, and Google Cloud Platform has Cloud function. And Azure function is way better than Cloud function because, not because I'm Microsoft, but because the Google Cloud Platform just started supporting the Cloud function, and they only support Node.js at this moment. No Golang, no C#, no PHP, no Python, just Node.js. That's totally fine from the Node people, but because I clearly said I compare these two platforms from C# developer point of view, but because I'm kind enough, I'm writing a blog for the function for Google Cloud Platform. I'm using my Node knowledge to try it out. As long as I'm trying, it's just working fine. So what's the difference? There are several differences between Azure function and the GCP Cloud function. The best part of the Azure function is the binding. When I say binding, we have function, right? And function itself do some compute, but it should take input and output. Input could be take the data from storage or from the queue, and output could be simply return the HTTP response or store the result out to a database or storage. And by using the binding, it's very easy for developer to specify this is the binding I want to use, and this is how I want to get data out, and this is how I want to put the data in. And even though I change the binding from storage to database, basically what I need to do is the same. So from the writing code point of view, it's very easy to write. And on the other hand, the Google Cloud Platform, we need to write the code it's like the normal Node.js, no binding at this moment, or as long as I know. So we have to create using some Node package manager package to try to get the data out from storage and try to save the data into storage. And when I compare how much sample code or documentation available, Azure Function has way better support compared to Google Cloud Platform today. But I'm pretty sure Google Cloud Platform will catch up very quickly. At least they should support Golang, which is their own language. So that's the serverless. And the microservices. This is something very tricky. So I was writing a blog about comparing microservices. And I was thinking about what is microservice architecture for Microsoft. It could be Service Fabric, right? But then I realized we really can run Service Fabric anywhere, even on GCP or even on-premise. And how about Kubernetes? It's come from Google, but Azure also supporting Kubernetes now, right? So it's not like Azure versus GCP. It's more like Microsoft technology versus Google technology. But the thing is, the Service Fabric is more like developer focus, meaning I can stay in Visual Studio and write everything by using C#, including the definition of each component. I do not have to think about networking, load balancing, blah, blah. I can do everything by using C# code. On the other hand, Kubernetes is more like a container management or orchestration service, meaning we can put like web front container and the backend container. And between, we need to set up the service and the network layer to make the load balance. So it's more like, for me, it's more like I still need to think about how infrastructure working between these containers. So I don't say bad or good, it's just a difference. And Service Fabric and Kubernetes both run on any cloud platform as well as on-premise. So in this article, I just said it's more like Microsoft technology versus Google technology. And it's not like comparison, it's totally different technology. But if you're a C# developer and you want to write some microservice and you do not want to care about networking or load balancing, then I would strongly recommend using Service Fabric. But if you already have some containers running somewhere, you should consider using Kubernetes because that's the container orchestration service. All right. And next up, mobile apps. This is, when I look up this mobile app development experience, I found it very interesting and natsukashi again. Why? Because Azure, let me open my blog article instead. Actually, I'm still writing the GCP, it's still draft. But Azure has mobile app development or App Center, which has everything you need. So we support the server side, we support backend, we support offline, we support the synchronization, we support push notification, blah, blah, authentication. And we also support testing, auto testing by using the Xamarin Cloud, and we also support deploy to the application by using the Hotkey app. So we have a complete set. And interesting enough, Google also have a complete set of supporting those mobile development, but we cannot find that feature from Google Cloud Platform. Why? Because there is a product or service called Firebase, which Google, I think Google buying the service, right? Yeah, they bought it, but it's not integrated into GCP yet. So we have two separate different UI. But as long as I know, Google keep putting GCP capability into Firebase. So for example, from Firebase, they had their own storage, like the real-time database and the Firestore. But now they can let us use Google Cloud Platform storage from Firebase. So they start integrating GCP and Firebase, but at this moment there are two separate services, which is why I was a bit confusing. To tell you the truth, I start from Firebase by some reason, and I thought, okay, Google Cloud is just mobile development. It was not. They have way more service at this moment, but they are separate services. All right. So I will finish up writing about mobile app development for GCP, which is Firebase, by end of this week. So please check it out to see. The feature is kind of complete. Firebase has pretty good feature: authentication, push notification, testing, monitoring, and front end, back end, offline sync, everything. All right, so it's already 8:57. And the last thing I would like to say is, because I start writing this Azure versus GCP, many people asking me, why not AWS? I will do that later, but at this moment I'm thinking about keep doing Azure versus GCP because GCP not only have compute, which is the app engine, compute engine, this is VM by the way, and the Kubernetes engine, this is the microservice, and the cloud function. But this is just 4 service out of compute, and they have storage, networking, and the stack driver is more like monitoring and debugging, and other tools and big data, like IoT. This sounds very interesting, right? So I think I continue this Azure versus GCP series from C# developer point of view. But I really want you guys feedback about this blog article, like if I'm writing the article in a good way or not. And if you guys know about GCP more than me, please let me know what I'm missing. Or if you know Azure better than me, please let me know what I'm missing. Okay? All right, that's it for today. Any question?
Yeah, another question, but I think with Service Fabric, Microsoft is open source it, and then you can actually run it on Linux.
Yes, so the question was the Service Fabric is open source and we can run on Linux. Yes.
So that means that you can actually run it on Google.
Yes, right? So the Service Fabric can be run on Azure, on-premise, AWS, GCP, anywhere. Yeah. That's why it's more like Microsoft versus Google, not AWS, Azure versus GCP. Same apply for Kubernetes. Kubernetes can run anywhere. Okay. Only Linux, I guess. Though. I don't know if we have Kubernetes client for Windows. I don't think so. Yeah. Any other question? No? All right, so that's it. And let me stop the broadcasting. Bye-bye, YouTube.